Hello, I'm Julia Cordova. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel on YouTube. I appreciate it. So today I thought we would go over Eric's trade. I know there's a lot of people keep asking me who Eric is, so I'll tell you who Eric is. And Eric is about to make another trade. Pretty sure. Can't be certain. Pretty sure. Wallaby, honey, don't do that in front of everybody else, okay? Just like wait it out. Okay. Okay, so let's begin. Talk about the art of the revenge trade. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is who Eric is. So we had a tweet right about here saying, you know, maybe it's a good time to go all in. And I've discussed this trade before. But anyway, so I think somewhere around right here is when the trade got, the tweet got deleted. I'm going to put that on there though, because I think that's going to be important later. So I'm not a perma bull, y'all. I'm really not. In fact, my natural inclination is to be very perma bearish, but I just have been bullish for a while, since like right here-ish. But anyway, so what I had predicted would happen when I tweeted this was that we would, in fact, test Eric's line, come back down, test Eric's line again, and it's this yellow shaded area because it's the hour in which he tweeted. I took the entire hour and did high to low because I wasn't sure exactly what time he did it, and plus I just didn't, I'm too lazy, you guys. So anyway, and then I said it would come back down again, but not as far, and then go whoop. So far it's kind of whooping. Let's look at it. But before I do that, I'm going to look at the weekly. Okay, so great are my pivots, but it seems like I hit one and then I have to like hit another one. Anyway, these are the values I'm watching this week. If you look at the past, I don't know, it looks like past month or so, it's just been like there's really been not a whole lot of movement. So it's consolidating. It's doing something. And that is actually what I had said in the What Would a Terrible Trader Do when I was talking about what I thought might be an ascending triangle. It's really consolidation because look, it's not just going to keep going straight up, right? And well, I mean, no, it's not. It didn't. And you know, it's come so far that can it just go straight down? Maybe. But anyway, I also mentioned last week that even though that was a very toppy looking weekly candle, in my experience, the things that look the most obvious are in fact the things that never happen. So we haven't quite gotten above it yet. Maybe that was the toppy candle, but it sure did scare the F out of any bears this past week. And maybe that's what, you know, I was reading on Twitter. I think I saw, I'm going to say 4.5 because one was in the comments to me. But I saw 4 different posts about how sentiment changed this past week for bears. It was from bears just saying how sentiment had changed. And to me, whenever a lot of people point out the same thing at the same time, that just sort of makes whatever they're pointing out like not relevant anymore. So, I mean, it looks like we're in this consolidation area. We'll have to see what happens. But for now, I would like to see a little more upwards action before we see some significant pullback, if there is a significant pullback. But I'm looking for up. I'm looking for up before down, but we'll see what happens. As always, level to level, and don't trade what you think, trade what you see. I hate those hallmark things. Okay, let's look at the daily. Here we go. Yeah, so it did exactly what I thought. It went up, came back down, went up again. Although to be fair, I did want it to go higher here and then lower here, but whatever. It just did a little something. So look at this past week. Not a very toppy candle on that Friday, was it? And it got above these two lines here. So certainly a back test of 2902 or so would be welcome. We'll see how it reacts. So far we've had two delightful bounces off of the RSI support, and we'll just have to see. Looks like, what? Live trading again, y'all. Looks like I'll be watching this pink line, and who knows when it'll hit, but if it hit on Monday, I don't know, but if it did, that would be about 30 or so, 30.29. Let me make that pink, because it's important, and I'll forget later, and then I'll be upset. Okay, cool. All right, so that is ES. Yep. And as far as like if it were to go up and then come back down, I think this meow line, and I put meow there because that's when a lot of people were calling the top of a dead cat bounce. So I figure above the meow line, we're good. Below the meow line, we're bad. Yep. Okay. Now, as far as what Eric's going to do, so I had said on Twitter that Eric probably, so originally, you know, he'd held for all this time, and then he didn't sell here. It dropped. His heart probably dropped with him. When it came back down, when it came back up, he probably got a little greedy, thinking, oh, it's going to go all that way. So he didn't sell, and then it came back down again. I think he probably got frustrated right about here, and he sold. That's what I said on Twitter. That's about right, right under where he bought it for. He's not too upset about that. Like, he did good. He didn't make any money, and he waited a really long time and had all of his cash tied up, but he did good. Good boy, Eric, good boy. So I think what's going to happen is if we do get above this 29.61 area, I think Eric's going to open a revenge short. That's my guess. Yeah. So above 29.61 or so, it's going to get pretty bullish looking, and so Eric will start his revenge short, and then that's what's going to take us up to these next levels. Who knows when they'll hit, but we'll see. I have a sort of end game in mind where I'm probably going to get out of the market again, but we shall see. And let me tell you something. So I'm not the best trader in the world, but when things aren't working out for me the way that I want them to work out, I will just stop trading that particular instrument until it starts behaving itself. So like right now, you probably notice I'm not trading oil very much. And it's not because I haven't been accurate about it, actually, but it's because it's just not being delightful in terms of following my flow, the way I think. So I will say that, and I said this, and I've said this several times on Twitter in an interview I did, like I actually got out of the market right about here because I had done some cross chart analysis that I had never done before, and that told me that really should have been the top according to my cockamamie calculations. I was not accurate about that. Look how more far up it went. But did I care? A little bit, but it doesn't matter because I would have wanted to revenge trade it. I would have wanted to continually short it. Short, because I would have been angry. I was angry that it was above my line. It has a finish line on it, guys. Like, hello, that's when it's supposed to stop. But anyway, you know, because I know I have my own tendency to revenge trade, I'll just stop trading something if it's bad. So I don't think Eric is that well refined yet, so I think he's going to start his revenge trade right about here, and then it's going to have to go up more just to shake him out. And this dotted line would be a nice place, wouldn't it? Wherever it hits there, because that looks like a lot of stuff going on. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if it can first get above here, and then how it acts around here and here, and then that dotted line looks good for me. I like that dotted line. And in fact, yeah, that's right. So anyway, I'll pull my money all out at some point again. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's talk about gold. Not that much interesting to talk about, actually. I had gone long silver about a week ago, a little over a week ago, and I almost went short gold at the same time, but I didn't. I didn't. But it's because it wasn't bearish. I mean, it's gone down the past week, but it's not doing much. I'm only going to worry about my investment gold if it gets out of control. Maybe if it gets below the rocket, I'll start to be like, wonder what can happen here. And then really it's only bearish if it gets back below this key line. So it's just consolidating. It's wearing out these huge bands of resistances here. So we'll just have to wait to see if it gets above the top one, which is 1753.40. Then I think that'll be very bullish. But in the meantime, it's just sort of triangulating, not really doing much. So I haven't been trading it. Let's talk about silver. Okay. So I actually marked off the day I bought here in blue. And then, don't say I never gave you anything, because I actually posted the next day on Twitter. Let me get rid of that P. I actually posted the next day on Twitter that I had started the position the day before. And I'm like, of course it's red. Of course it is. But I'm still 1/3 in a position, although I did sort of call out a McSqueezy, and I did go ahead and scalp a bunch of money on this day, and then get out of it. But it's still in a flag. I mean, if you kind of squint, you might think it broke out of the flag, and it might have. I didn't draw it in here because look, it's so obvious. But it's still not above the key level. So I think, once it gets above this mini key, which is about 1604 on Monday or Sunday night, whatever, then it'll be quite bullish. And I will probably add my next two scales on a back test of some sort, or on another setup. A back test, or, some kind of bullish candle formation or something like that. But, I mean, it's interesting because these slopes tend to repeat themselves over and over again. Like if you just look at this kind of steeper candle, but this one is a bigger fabric of the flag because it's a longer pole with that included. But it's the same steepness. And I will just wait until we're above the key to add. Otherwise, I've already made, actually, a lot of money because of the scalp I did here on the McSqueezy. So that trade is good. We're good. Even if we don't make more money there, we're good. Okay, let's talk about oil. Yeah, it looks like it's making a turnaround. Do I trust it? I don't know. I don't know. But on the weekly, it certainly looks promising. It also looks like you can almost pick out what might be an inverse head and shoulders if it gets back. It doesn't even have to get it back above there, but this kind of looks like a little shoulder here. I mean, in this time frame, it's hard to see. Maybe on the daily we'll see it better. But you can see a shoulder here, maybe a pointy head with a serious alfalfa going on here. And then the next shoulder, possibly, I do not know. But to me, it's not bullish really until it is above, until it is above this red key line on the weekly, which this week would be about about 3207 or so. Save. I'm gonna have to go back and save that pink thing too. Okay. Aha, here is the 4 hour. You can see the formation I was talking about here a little bit better. Maybe this is a shoulder head, devil head with alfalfa hair here. And then if it gets to the key line, that would be the neckline. And also the key line, for those of you who are new to follow me, is sort of a bull bear. Depending on the time frame, it's sort of a bull bear, like fulcrum. So if it were to get here, that would be about 2783 at this point. And then we'll see how it behaves there, whether it goes further up or whether or not it bounces back down if it gets there. I am not trading it right now. Okay, let's talk about Natty. All right. Oh, I added lines. What? I did. I added lines. Okay, so the reason I did that, I was looking at it this morning. I was squinting at it. I was trying to figure out what the F is happening. I have been saying for ages that if price got above this key line, if it closed above the key line, then it would go whoop, and it did. It's just that the next day it went, which was the opposite of the whoop, and I was actually playing this pretty well because I had bought in around here again, and then when it back tested the key. That was in pre-market hours on this day, whatever it was, Thursday. I had an order in to sell it. It was like perfect. That was in one account, and I'm migrating my account right now to a different broker. So that was in one account, and then the other account, I had also the same order in, but I didn't put extended hours in. It was like a market sell. So it didn't operate. It didn't go. And then I was all really, that like threw me off for the whole day. I was super irked about that. I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but sometimes if you just get out of your zone with whatever like mistake happens or whatever it is, I should have just not. I didn't do much that day anyway, but it just really threw me off. That really sucked. I tried to do the right thing in both accounts. Anyway, let's talk about it. So what's happening here? I took this slope from the piggy line that was up here originally, and I just was kind of messing with it here, and it really fit here. So I'm going to leave it here so that we have sort of another resistance line. And then I had taken this bear flag slope and I moved it to the bottom here, the lowest low we have. And that kind of seemed like it fit also. So I'm gonna watch here. I'm gonna move this a little bit, make it more accurate. I'm gonna watch here at about 1.78. Should it go further? And then this ambulance line, which is about 1.74, would be where I think the last possible would be. But we shall see. Again, I hate saying this because I hate saying, no, I don't hate saying it. It's still accurate. If price gets back above this 1.985 level, which is the mini key, then I think it will squeeze again. So we'll watch that. Otherwise, I'm just watching these pivots to see whether or not how they interact with any sort of RSI lines. And I might draw in another one here. Let's do that now, live. Okay. There we go. All right, now we have something else to watch. And let me just see here. Seeing how this works. That looks like a good one. Oh, let's leave that. All right. Yeah, I like that. Okay, perfection. All right, well, thank you very much. I hope you're having a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and to all the mothers of all the traders. Okay, bye. Oh my gosh. Okay, bye.